Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go easy, easy.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Yanina and I'm the lead designer and creator of my little business, Bluebell Peak Designs, where I make pretty awesome animal wooden home decor, and lots of designing and drawing is done on this channel. So if that is something you are interested in watching and listening about, then please like and subscribe. I started today in a really good mood, and I dyed my hair because I'm just getting over Christmas, so I thought I'll dye my hair, get rid of the roots, I'll get dressed nicely, I'll even do my makeup, and felt really good and ready to start the day and ready to film with you guys and do some goal setting ready for the new year. It all kind of went to pot. Yeah, it's really gone to pot. So the time is now 3:30 and I've just really been thrown off today. It's something I'm going to discuss more in depth in the next video with you as I do some watercolour, because when I'm creating things and painting, I'm more able to articulate how I'm feeling. At the moment it's a particularly hard time with the lockdowns. I mean, throughout the world people are having lockdowns, and you know, here in the UK we're getting hit quite badly because we've got a high population density for our little island. So it's been hard on everyone, and I know that. But I think I just got thrown into a spin because I have PTSD from a difficult birth with Maeve, who is my youngest. So I have two daughters. So I've got one who's 3 and one who's 9 months. And the youngest, we had a hard time. She was 6 weeks premature, and some of you already know this. And it was all an emergency C-section. We didn't know if she'd make it out alive, to be honest, and she was taken away from me. First day I had her, to be taken to another hospital for specialist ventilator equipment, which I'll discuss more about that later. You can see that I'm getting upset, and I'd rather discuss that, you know, not on camera. And I've just been informed that my counselling sessions that I've been having over the phone, because they're not doing face-to-face counselling sessions, have been cancelled because of the increased demand. So back in October, when I was feeling really low, I decided to do Inktober and see if that will help, and actually taking an hour or 2 out of my day to just sit down and do some art. And it didn't have to be work art, because obviously my job is to create and design things, that sometimes there's that pressure on what I'm drawing that always has to be like related to making lamps and vases and things out of, like this little guy here. So I thought I'll do Inktober and see how it makes me feel, and I was really surprised that I didn't do it every day. It was like every other day. There was no pressure to do it. It just really helped having those prompts. I didn't have to come up with the idea of what to draw, and just playing just playing with ideas and creating, and just taking a bit of time just to stop for a minute and forcing myself to stop and evaluate and create without any strings attached. was really helpful for me and my mental health. And I think my therapist could see the difference in how I was chatting to her and how I was feeling. And then obviously Christmas happened, and that was madness. Pure and simple, that was madness. Christmas was nuts. So I didn't have any time to think about how my brain is doing, unfortunately. So if like alarms go off or someone touches me in the wrong place on my back, I get sent into a bit of a spiral, and fight and flight reflex is very strong when that happens. Unfortunately, like, nothing like that happened over the Christmas period. There was one instance with my back, but I managed to keep a lid on it. But I think because I was so busy, I didn't have time to think about it. And now that it's all a bit less frenetic and a bit less mad, some of the feelings have come back. I'm obviously not happy or feeling well with the news that my support system has been taken away from me. So let's see what I can do about it. So because Inktober was such a success, I thought I would give bullet journaling a go, and I found some fantastic people, which is, right, I found a really fantastic channel called The Unexpected Gypsy. She is an artist as well by trade. And I've just been loving watching it because journaling to help with her mental health as well. And I liked that idea. I've also seen other creators like Ellis Jade. She's created a scrapbook to help with that side of things. I don't know if I want to go that far, but I thought I'll do the basic of trying to start bullet journaling again. I did try about 4 years ago now, let's say 3 years, to do a bullet journal. But my problem is, so this is the bullet journal I bought. It's a beautiful book. It's like a soft pleather type jobby, and obviously the pages are all nice inside. And I did start it, but my problem with it is if I wasn't happy with a page, I couldn't just take it out and not worry about it. And the perfectionist in me doesn't like that. And then the other side of it is that I wasn't 100% sure like how to do it, and it's just something I could never like get into the habit of doing. So I wanted to create a journal that is far more me and far happier. So the last 12 years I've been using this calendar diary from the Calendar Club. This is the first year that I haven't been able to get this specific diary, and I was really upset because I'm so in the habit of using this. Obviously it's ring bound. It's, you know, I just find it really easy to use, and it's something that I have used since university, and I'm in the habit of using it. So being upset that I couldn't find this, I thought I'll give bullet journaling a go, but I will make my own Franken Journal. So this is my little Franken Journal. I need to do a front cover for it, but I think I'll paint one. And I've basically taken the best bits from my old diary and popped it into this Franken Journal so that it is a mix of these two together. So I got a mix of my diary and a mix of my thing so that I can do the fun bit of making beautiful pictures and paintings of bullet journaling, but it still be practical like my diary. And so in January I've like tried out different monthly spreads to see which ones I prefer, and then I can replicate that across my journal for the ones I liked best. The ones I decided I like best are this one, because I've got a little space here to add pictures and doodles into, and then this one, because again I've got the little space, but the boxes are nice and short and dumpy, so I can add bullet points in, which for my very muddled brain, bullet points and checklists are a must. So I like those two set up, so I'm just replicating that in my diary and giving myself themes to go off, because that was the thing with Inktober, because there was prompts, which are basically themes. There wasn't as much pressure for coming up with something brand new to make. So that's what I'm kind of replicating here on a weekly basis, basically, is my theme is my prompt. So like February, I've had this lovely gift wrapping paper. I've got my little owls. The meat and potatoes of this video is I wanted to do a 2020 review. Okay, let's try and turn my funk around. Let's do a 2020 review. Woohoo, a rubbish year, it's finally over. I've got my tea. It's a little bit cold, but I'm a mum, I'm used to that. So let's see if I can turn this funk around. I've got my Franken Journal open, which is my mix between my bullet journal and my old planner that I have been using for the last 10 years. Dream big 2020, we can all laugh now. So being a patron of Emily Harvey Art, she put this on, and I am using her goal setting print off as inspiration for this 2020 review. I know it may seem a bit late for doing this, like a lot of people do it at the end of the year and I've kind of left it till now. I have decided that this 2020 review and goal setting for 2021, I am going to use the latest Kate as my inspiration. I've already set up this page, but if you don't know who the latest Kate is, I'll put links for her down below, and she's fabulous. I'll also put links for The Unexpected Gypsy as well, because I love her YouTube channel. I found it about 2 weeks ago and I've been watching it enraptured with this lady. She's fab. Anyway, so the latest Kate, I found her during uni when I was in another low point in my life. Not PTSD, but definitely depression. And her like little animals and creatures and inspirational quotes really got me through a lot of bad days. So I found some to do with the year. So for the 2020 review, I put, every time you thought life would defeat you, you were wrong. And that is a very good, apt quote for 2020 for me. 2020, everyone will agree, has been really hard. Not the best. Not the best. But I am here. Let's see if we can think of any good points of the year for me to celebrate. So my greatest achievement of the year. Does not losing my shit count as one? Not losing my brain? No, maybe not. My greatest achievement of the year. This is more to do with business, this one. So because I run a small business, so it's like reflecting on what went well with my little business. So my greatest achievement of the year with this business is that it didn't fold, and not only that, it grew. It grew. Okay, so my greatest achievement of the year is hitting over 600 followers on Instagram and making a successful website. I know it's not all about numbers, but I set a goal at the start of the year that I wanted to hit 300 followers on Instagram. And when it got to November and I'd gotten over 600, I just couldn't believe it. It's such a shock to me that happened, because there's no way on this earth that I thought that would ever be the case. So I was really humbled by that. And also, my husband made my website for me, but the fact it's such a success, that is a great achievement for the business. I'm so happy that I have my husband to help me with these things. A lesson I've learnt this year is not to underestimate myself. Maybe it's because of my mental state, but I do put myself down a lot. Even though I'm always really proud of what I make, I always doubt how well other people are going to love it. And when you make products, people's homes, you know, you want other people to like it. You want people to love your pieces and bring them into your home. I really doubt myself, like, is this gonna work, you know? Are people gonna want my mad designs where I've created an owl, lamp, hedgehog vase? And this year has been a big prover that people have been loving what I design and make. So that's been wonderful. So I'm going to stop doubting myself. I'll still doubt myself, I'll be honest with you, but not to underestimate what I'm doing, because clearly something is going right. So something I didn't achieve but wanted to. I'm just going to use my Tombow pen. This is my Christmas present. My husband said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I said, Tombow pens. And you can also build up the colour quite a bit with Tombow pens, so you can actually get some nice gradient and depth with just one colour rather than having to have lots of different colours. So something I didn't achieve but wanted to. I didn't stick with this. I didn't stick with YouTube till the end of the year. Part of that was because my previous phone got ran over, and that's what I've been using for filming. You're currently on my brand new phone, which is a Christmas present to myself, which is a Samsung A7 I, I think, to film my videos. So something I didn't achieve but wanted to. I didn't stick with YouTube till the end of the year. I'm proud of myself for finding strength in difficult times and carrying on regardless. And that might sound quite wishy-washy, but if you have an inkling of what I've been going through, and especially in the current climate where we are especially isolated, I can't say I'm alone. I have my husband, I have my children, but it is a very isolationary state of being, that just the fact I've managed to pull myself through this difficult time. I know there's still a bit of a hole there that needs digging over, but I'm just so proud that I could carry on with this little business, with my dream, because this little business is my dream, and carrying on with it despite all the difficulties going on in my brain. Right, so there's my 2020 review. I'm pretty happy with that. Despite the hard year, I'm pretty happy with that. And like my little cat says, every time you thought life would defeat you, you were wrong. Got through it. And now we're going to move on to 2021. So I've left this one uncoloured and a bit more blank, so that I can colour it in with you, and you've got a bit more visual fun to watch whilst I'm chatting to you. What did I do? I did it pink, purple and blue. I think that blue was a bit too dark in this one, so I'm going to use this one, which is a lighter one, I think, because this one's a greeny one, isn't it? Yeah, it's a greeny one. Like I said, these pens are really nice to layer. There are a lot of the people that do bullet journaling and things, and actually just colouring in, I guess. Tombow is a really good water-based marker to use because it is so blendable. It doesn't bleed, which is another big thing. My husband's just got home from walking the dog. Woohoo! Hiya! And I'm back. My husband's just got home from walking the dog. So I'm just using my Tombows, like I said. Put a bit of an ombre effect on these numbers. If you haven't guessed by my hair, I quite enjoy a good ombre colour gradient. Yeah, let me know down below how you felt about 2020. It's been an interesting year. I would love to hear people who actually had a nice time this year, but equally I would like to offer my support to anyone else who, like me, has been struggling with loss and things not going to plan, so I can offer them support where I can. I'm not a therapist, obviously, or anything, but I think it's good to show people that they're not alone. And there was part of me thinking, do I share, what's happening with everyone? And honestly, I think it is better that I share with everyone what is happening than not. Because I don't want to give a false narrative about what's been happening. So let's move on to setting some really nice goals 2021. Let's just see what little creatures I've got. I got a little squirrel, I got that little guy, and I got a little bunny. So if you're trying to read this on the screen, I don't know if it is legible. The colouring is awful on screen, and I'm really sorry about that. But basically it says, progress is still progress, no matter how small. With every challenge you meet, you gain experience every day, you're leveling up. The little bunny says, I don't know if I can succeed, but I sure as hell am going to try. And then this little, I think it's like a ferrety type thing, or maybe it's a squirrel. I'm not 100% sure, but it's darn cute. It says, it's okay to be a work in progress. Everyone is, even if they pretend otherwise. They're little quotes that I'm using for my 2020 board. This time next year, I want to be. Do you know what? I'm going to do this thing slightly differently from the page before, because I liked the coloured border, but I didn't like how I wrote that. It just doesn't look as nice to me. If you hear shuffling in the background as well, that's my husband.
On our tiptoes, undercover, agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover, agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. A bigger scale the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover, agents of
Hello lovely beans, this is editing Yanni because the audio was rubbish on this part of the video, so I've changed it round and I thought I'll chat to you afterwards. I'm starting on the second goal, which doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but I was desperately trying to think of what to put for the first, so I thought I'll leave it for a little bit. The goal I'm filling out is, in 2021 I want to try more online selling platforms like Booksy and Not on the High Street. The reason I'm thinking of doing this is because as a small business, I think it's good to try and broaden your audience and then drive traffic to the website. And that is my ultimate aim by going to these other sellers, so that more people can see my beautiful stuff and then hopefully go to my website and buy it directly through me. At least I'd hope. And then the first one, which I am now going back to, is this time next year. I want to be able to do more stalls. I'm really hoping that COVID, it's not going to be over, but the threat of it will be minimised and I'll be able to go back to doing some more stalls, because I really do love doing it and it's like setting up my own little shop and I miss doing that. So I'm hoping this time next year, pandemic will be slightly lessened, that I'll be able to go back to that model. In 2021, I'm going to learn how to screen print or turn my designs into pillows. Now I've had a good think about this. I make a lot of interior design, decor, and I really want to start diversifying that, and I love textiles. So I think it would be a really nice touch to add pillows to go with all my animals. So have like a little foxy pillow and a little hare pillow and so on. I think it would be something really nice to add to the range. Maybe go down the embroidery route, because I love embroidery and I think it's fancy. So I'm going to put more time into painting with watercolour for more interesting paintings, and just generally just trying to nicely create things that are not necessarily all I wouldn't say it's digital. A lot of my stuff starts off by hand, but I then have to put it on the computer and CAD it all up so that it can go onto my laser cutter that I have. So I think doing more painting with watercolours will be really helpful for that. I'm going to do less small stalls, so little stalls, as the website is doing so well. At the moment, the stalls I do are quite broad, so I do a lot of like smaller craft markets. They're just one-day events, they're about £20 a table, and they're great, especially when you're getting started. But I've gotten to a point where it's not helpful doing the small ones and takes too much time away. So I'm going to phase them out and just do the big guys. Right, so let's set some better goals. Some bullet points, in fact. For my productivity goals, I want to first of all use this journal, and second of all try and do 2 designs each season, and then of those designs broaden that into lots of different products, because once I've got the design down it's quite easy to form that into different products. I didn't really keep on top of that last year, which I think is understandable. So it'll be nice this year to be able to have that and do it, basically. So now we're moving on to social media. As you know, I did quite well last year at going well over my target. So I've got a few things I want to do this year. I want to film at least 1 video a week. I'm starting late, aren't I? Because this is the first video of the year. And it's the last weekend of the first month. But that's fine. It's fine. Got the rest of the year to try and do it. Try TikTok. I thought it'd be quite fun to do like speed runs of my laser cutter to music when I'm cutting out my fun little animals like my hares and rabbits and foxes. And I would love to hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. That means I have to post frequently, as I'm not just giving an arbitrary number. There is steps I need to take to get that, and I know that I need to post more frequently. I'm doing okay on Instagram so far this year, so I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing, and hopefully it will carry on growing and I can help more people be my friends. My marketing goals for this year is to produce 2 more mini prints and try custom tissue paper. Now the mini prints, they aren't actually for sale. My mini prints is me turning my designs into my business cards. And the reason I want to do that is because it's like a fun little thing. Every time I send a parcel out to someone, they don't know what mini print they're going to get. So I'd like to produce 2 more of those because that went down really well last year. And then the custom tissue paper just looks smart and cute in my packaging. So in 2021, to develop my skills, I need to carry on with the current design process that I have in place, which is do my design and turn it into lots of different products straight away, because if I don't do that, those other products, they won't happen because I become quite complacent. So I'd like to carry on that design process that I started putting in place the end of last year. And it would be nice to learn a little bit more about photography, because it's one of those things, you've got to really have good product photography, and I don't know enough about it. I don't have a professional camera either. I just use my mobile, same as this video. It isn't always the best quality, so it would just be nice to learn a little bit more and work out the best ways of doing things, really. Time to talk about numbers, financials. I would like to earn enough for 2 days of nursery for Maeve by the end of the year. At the moment, my baby girls, my eldest goes in for 3 days a week because of the childcare offer, and my youngest, I put her in for 1 day a week. But by the end of the year, it'll be nice to be able to do 2, especially because Christmas is going to be so busy. I'd also like to be able to hire someone during the busy periods to help. So it's building the company enough that that is a possibility, because it's just too much to do on your own, quite frankly. I do have a lot of help from my mum. It would be nice to hire my mum. In fact, that's what I've written.
be able to hire my mum. Now the final one. This is something that I'm not very good at, which is make sure I have at least one day where I don't touch work. In fact, let's make it 2 days. When I have my girlies on Monday and Friday, I just need to not touch work and just have fun being a mum, and on the weekend spend time with my husband and enjoy being a family. Because it's quite hard, you can get quite wrapped up in your small business, and for me it becomes quite obsessive, so it'll be nice to just put it down and not worry for a day or two in the week. Which I think is a fairly healthy goal. So that's it. That's all my goals for 2021. And you know what? I'm so glad we're finally here and we can finally enjoy a new year, even if we're stuck in lockdown. And I'm going to just end it here and say thank you for listening if you stayed till the end. And I'll see you in the next one, where I'll be making things, hopefully, and doing a studio vlog. Bye!